They knocked on my door with fake badges and real arrogance. 3 men in black jackets claiming to be HOA enforcement ordered me to step outside. 10 minutes later, one of them had a gun in his hand and all of them froze when the real police pulled up behind their SUV. Yeah, they picked the wrong house for their little power trip. I'm Jake Mercer, 41, retired SWAT. Moved to Cypress Creek Estates because it looked like the kind of quiet neighborhood where nothing bad ever happens. White fences, neat lawns, everyone waving like they care. I thought peace came with the mortgage. Turns out, peace was just another illusion sold with the property line. The morning it happened started like any other. Coffee brewing sunlight crawling across the kitchen tiles, that brief moment where I could almost believe life was normal. My espresso machine wheezed like an old friend refusing to die. I remember thinking, still alive, buddy. Funny, I said the same thing to myself a lot those days. See, I'd left the job years ago. My neighbors think I'm retired, but you don't retire from instincts. You can hang up the badge, but you can't erase the way your body listens for danger. And that morning, something in the air just shifted. The silence felt too heavy, too perfect. Cops call it the pause. The stillness right before something breaks. Then came the doorbell. 3 tones. 2 quick, 1 long. Authoritative, not a delivery guy, not a neighbor. I checked the monitor. 3 men on the porch, all in matching windbreakers that read HOA Enforcement Division. 1 bald, built like a linebacker. 1 tall military haircut. 1 short and nervous, twitching like his body wasn't used to standing still. The bald one knocked again. "Sir, this is a compliance inspection. Step outside immediately." I didn't move. My gut told me they weren't who they claimed to be. No squad car outside, just a dark SUV with tinted windows and an idling engine. No radios, no nameplates. Everything screamed amateur hour with a power complex. I asked through the door, calm. "Which department are you with?" "That's not relevant," he said. "We're with the HOA Safety Subcommittee." I almost laughed. "You mean the same HOA whose president told me last week that my flag was a threat to community harmony." Her name was Karen Drayden. Beige suit, red lipstick drawn like war paint clipboard clutched tighter than her morals. She'd left 3 warnings on my door that month over the flag, my mailbox, and aggressive tone during communication. Apparently, silence counts as aggression now. The bald man's voice deepened. "Step outside, sir. Don't make this difficult." That's when I caught something in the reflection of the window, a figure crouched behind my hedge, talking into a small radio. Karen, watching her little army perform. I turned on the external mic and listened. Her voice cracked through tinny and sharp, "Proceed with entry. Don't let him stall." "Gotcha." I spoke through the door, quiet but clear. "Gentlemen, you do understand impersonating law enforcement is a felony, right?" Silence. Then the tall one, the one with the buzz cut, shifted awkwardly. That's when I recognized him. Rick Donnelly. Used to be a recruit under my command years ago. I'd kicked him out of the academy for poor judgment and a temper he couldn't control. Looks like he'd found a new badge to hide behind a fake one. "Rick," I said, "didn't think I'd remember, huh? You were the kid who almost got your partner shot because you couldn't follow protocol." His posture faltered. The bald leader snapped, "Sir, this is your last warning." I could feel it now, the trembling hand near his belt hovering over what looked like a pistol grip. I leaned out of the door's direct line voice, still calm. "You draw that, and you'll regret it." Karen's voice screeched again over the radio. "Restrain him. He'll fold if you pressure him." Rick flinched. The smaller man muttered, "Maybe we should wait, ma'am." She hissed, "Do your job." That was the moment they realized I'd been recording everything. I toggled my phone, amplified the feed from the porch speakers. Her voice echoed right back at them. "Restrain him. He'll fold if you pressure him." 3 pairs of eyes widened at once. The bald one looked toward the hedge where she hid. "Ma'am," he started, but she barked back something unintelligible. I smiled to myself. "You're being recorded, fellas. Every frame, every word. So keep talking." The bald man snarled. "You think we're scared," and reached for his belt. Instinct took over. I moved 2 steps. Wright drew my Glock but kept it low. "Don't," I said quietly. My tone wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. It was command. The kind of voice that stops a room cold. For a few seconds, no one breathed. Then Rick whispered, "She said it's legal. She said we had authority." "Yeah," I said. "And she said playing dress-up makes you real cops, too." The bald one's hand twitched. He wanted to prove something. I could see it in his eyes, that blend of fear and pride that gets people killed. I hit a button on my phone. Silent alarm. Direct line to the sheriff's office. My old partner, Sergeant Moreno, would get it. Outside, Karen's voice cracked again. "Don't let him control the situation. Proceed as planned." I turned the porch camera toward the hedge. There she was, caught in full color, crouched behind her fence clipboard in one hand, radio in the other. A suburban general at war with her own imagination. I hit the speaker again, playing her voice back at full volume. "Don't let him control the situation. Proceed as planned." It echoed through the cul-de-sac. Dogs barked. Curtains shifted. The bald man's bravado drained right out of him. "Sir," he stammered, "we can explain." "Save it for the real cops," I said. "They'll love this story." Then came the sound I'd been waiting for, the rising wail of sirens, distant but growing. The bald man froze. Rick looked back toward the street. The smallest one muttered, "We should go." I holstered my Glock slowly, deliberately, eyes never leaving them. Too late. They stood there, caught in my floodlights, blinking like actors who'd forgotten their lines. When the first cruiser turned the corner, blue and red lights splashing across the houses, I opened the door. The morning sun hit the porch just right, clean and bright, like judgment itself. "Gentlemen," I said, stepping forward, "you can stop pretending now." Rick's voice cracked. You really called them." "I didn't have to call anyone," I said. "They were already on their way." The bald man tried one last recovery. "We didn't mean for this to escalate. This was just a community inspection." With a weapon, I asked. He muttered, "It's not real. Neither was your authority." 2 cruisers pulled up, doors opened. Boots hit pavement. And then a familiar voice. "Mercer, you want to tell me why I've got 3 clowns in tactical vests blocking your driveway?" Sergeant Luis Moreno. We'd worked dozens of raids together back in the day. I shrugged. "They call themselves HOA enforcement. Tried to play cops on my porch." Moreno looked them up and down. "Hands where I can see them." They obeyed instantly. Real authority does that it doesn't need to shout. Karen's voice suddenly burst through Rick's radio again. Shrill, panicked, "Don't let them take you. Go inside his house and get the evidence." Moreno's head snapped toward me. "Was that who I think it was?" "Yep," I said. "The queen behind the curtain." Deputies Moreno barked. "Find that signal." But Karen couldn't keep quiet. She popped up from behind her fence, clutching the radio like it might save her. One of the deputies approached. "Ma'am, drop it." She tried to bluff. "This is all a misunderstanding. I was enforcing neighborhood safety." Moreno shook his head. "By impersonating officers and sending armed men to someone's door, you've got guts, lady." Her face went gray. "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president." "Not anymore," I said. The clipboard slipped from her hand, papers scattering across the lawn. Violation notices, rules, memos. All those little dictatorships printed on letterhead. They fluttered like surrender flags in the breeze. Moreno sighed. "Dispatch, confirm, we've got 4 in custody. 1 female, 3 males charges pending impersonation and attempted unlawful entry." Click. The cuffs locked. Karen's lips trembled. "You think this makes you better than everyone else?" I met her eyes. "No, just more honest." She glared, voice cracking. I was trying to keep order. "You confused order with control," I said. They led her to the cruiser beige suit smeared with dirt lipstick, fading into a crooked line. She tried to speak again, but the door closed before the words came. Moreno turned to me. "You want to press personal charges?" I shook my head. "No, this is bigger than me." He nodded. "You always did play the long game." As the cruisers pulled away, the neighborhood emerged from behind their curtains. Phones raised. Whispers spread like smoke. By tomorrow, every doorstep would know the story. I stood there on my porch vest, still on the flag behind me, catching the morning wind. The air finally felt light again, clean, not silent like before, but calm in the way truth always feels after chaos. That was the moment I realized peace isn't about keeping quiet. It's about standing your ground when everyone else bows to noise. And as I watched the last cruiser turn the corner, I thought to myself, Some people crave power so badly they forget what real authority sounds like. It doesn't shout, it just knocks once, and never has to ask twice.